Air 4825, we're now to stop your RG6 on
Hey, RG6 clear land, no wind calm, check full spark on wind 180 at 25, good, 35.
All right. Today's the day we start riveting. Well, I already technically started with 6 rivets on a single part, but today work on horizontal stabilizer. Start the riveting process. Here we go. Back. I've been doing research on all this other stuff. Anyway, done with this one. Moving on here. You want help? Okay, we're going to do some riveting. Prime all parts as required. Yep, we did that one. Do you want to do a check for me?
Sure.
Okay. Check this box here. Can you do it? Alright, so we are doing the riveting of the horizontal stabilizer. Tony is definitely helping me. We are going to do a lot of riveting. It's the beginning where we were putting it all together. We've clecoed, match drilled, deconstructed, deburred, dimpled, primed. Who showed up there?
Mommy.
Mommy. And what did she bring me?
Eggs.
Eggs. I love eggs. And then who's that?
Me.
Oh, you were wearing your Pikachu pajamas. What are y'all doing over there?
It's me, Mommy.
What are y'all doing back there?
It was hot outside, so I decided to go to the fan.
They are playing with the fan. I don't think y'all helped me too much. Y'all probably went inside to do your own breakfast for now. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. And it's screen time.
Yeah.
I think it was Saturday that time.
Yeah, this looks like a Saturday. Well, it was the summer, so it could have been really any day.
Yep.
So I'm hooking in all these parts. Oh.
Tony wanted to do water balloons.
Water balloons. Those are such a pain. I have to make a million of them for you. Now,
And I don't like getting wet.
I know for sure that I said yes to doing water balloons with you, but I said I'm not going to do it alone with you. You need somebody else to play with you. Maybe Calista, or maybe Drew.
Or Ella.
Anybody. So we can do water balloons.
I didn't know Elle and Julia was in the neighborhood at this time.
Yeah. Yep. So, important note. Yep, there's the cat. Important note. Fans tells you to tape over the parts that you don't want to rivet
He's
yet.
on your paper.
That's really important because yeah, he was. Because you've got to you've got to rivet the ribs in later, and you don't want to block any of those ribs.
Hey, that was my helmet.
Yeah.
That's my hat that I have right now.
Glad y'all had fun. All right, it's pouring down rain out there. That's Florida for you. Creates a nice little breeze. Very comfortable temperatures. Everybody's happy. I like a good comfortable temperature. A nice little breeze in the garage. This might be a little loud, and that's okay. Alright, so I took the kids to the pool. That's clearly what we did. Calista was wearing her swim shirt and everything. And then when we got back, yeah, it's Florida, so it's a thunderstorm. This is the afternoon. Kids are likely taking a nap because I think our rule was whenever you go to the pool, you need a nap because it would knock y'all out. And then, yep, you see Tony out first. Whenever y'all take a nap, who comes out first?
Tony.
Every time, because...
I always like to sleep.
Yeah, you love sleeping.
I still had my Moana hairbrush, really.
Yeah.
I hated that hairbrush before I got my new one.
Yeah.
I did not like it. The paint was coming off and I couldn't really use it.
Yeah, well, you were brushing your hair.
So then I got my Galinda one. Pink,
So,
pink.
You'll see me in here starting the riveting. This is me just... Now, you'll see me also grab a hammer. Some of these rivets, as I've discussed before, when I'm doing these rivets...
There's no Legos down there.
No, we're not doing Legos yet. When I'm doing these rivets, the paint for the primer that I put in kind of fills in those holes a little bit and makes them a little tighter. So getting the rivets in, there's a couple of ways you can do it. Since then, somebody taught me that you can use a scratch awl. You just sort of put it into that hole and wiggle it around a bit, and that gets rid of some of the primer and gives you room to put in a rivet. This time, I was just putting them in and sort of just hammering them down a bit to get them to fit into those holes. So you'll see me doing that, and then I'm squeezing those rivets in there. You've got a bunch of rivets that are already done in here. These are the larger holes, the ones that are for particular spots there. So well, actually no, it looks like these are the regular ones. I'm putting these right next to the larger holes because those are the ones that you drilled out for certain attachments. What do you call them? The elevator attach points. So those are those black clecos. Those are a larger hole.
Tony got his hair cut at this time.
Yeah, I think we drilled those up to number 27. Those are for the elevator attach points. So I'm getting the area around those riveted and done and put in there correctly.
Off of my leg, Tony.
Yeah.
Off of my leg, Tony. You're making me.
You good. Thank you.
He's still touching me.
So let's see. Looks like Tony's going to come out and help. What are you going to help me with, Tony?
Nothing.
Nothing? Callista, you came out to help. Did you come out and help me?
No.
No? Why
I just
not?
wanted to play outside.
Yeah, well, you saw me bring the green hose out there.
It's Mike.
Yep. Mike shows up, went straight to the fridge. What do you think he got out of the fridge?
Beer.
Nah, probably.
Always beer. Always beer.
Yeah, he's a fan of beer. I am too. So,
No, you're not. You hate beer.
yeah, you're right. I don't like beer at all.
That was a lie.
What do I drink?
You drink Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, cream soda, and
What was it called? I was drinking there earlier. Sunkiss.
Sunkiss.
The
Yeah,
peach type.
that's a good one. So I like sodas, huh?
Yep.
Mostly diet sodas are my favorite, I think. Or zeros, right?
Yeah, or zeros.
Yeah.
What does the zero on the cans stand for?
It means 0 calories and 0 sugar. That's all.
Oh, okay.
And not zero caffeine. Oh man, it has taken me a while to rivet these. Well, let's see.
Daddy said it would be quick, and it's not quick.
Nah, I told you this was the long part. This is me doing a lot of riveting. You'll see me trying a lot of different ways to get those rivets to go in. I really got, I guess, a little overzealous with the primer.
Wait, was the Zelda shield made at this time?
No, we have not made the Zelda shield yet when this video is here.
There's Mike sitting on the black shirt.
Yep.
There's Casey.
So you will see in this video, you'll see my friend Mike come by. He had just finished flying with Civil Air Patrol, and then my daughter Casey shows up while I'm working on this. And during this time, I'm working on getting those rivets into the holes. I tried a number of different methods. I tried the hammer, that often worked. I tried the deburr. That would work if just the edges need a little bit.
That carpet looks like our home carpet.
It does, doesn't it? But then the drill, I would use that just to get barely into the top, and I'd re-deburr and I'd blow out the chips. I would not go through a whole layer because I did not want any chips in the middle of the two pieces. And that seemed to work pretty well as well. So that got that would get those rivets in there because I really just did too much paint. They were properly drilled, match drilled, and deburred, but when I primed, I guess I just did too much primer or something because it would kind of ruin those rivet spots. Anyway, yeah, my daughter Casey came out and she talked about some problems she was having with work. Work's scheduled her for, she thought, 6 a.m., but actually it was 6 p.m. for her start time. Or maybe it was 9 a.m., but 9 p.m., something like that. So it was an interesting problem where, teenagers are learning how to have a job. Yeah, so this is a lot of riveting, a lot of talking with my daughter, and you'll see me get every single one of these rivets in. It makes a nice product in the end. The squeezer was set just right, makes it nice to do the horizontal stabilizer. Let's see, so...
Oh, that was after, I think, karate.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all are wearing your summer camp clothes. This is probably after karate day in the summer. Yep. Lots of riveting. I spent about an hour last night looking for my torque wrench. Finally found it. All just to get these bolts torqued in. Just a quick recap. Yesterday, I did all the riveting here. I found out that the paint that I put in, primer, did make the hole size a little smaller. What seemed to solve that for me was just re-deburring every hole, and then I was able to get the rivets in. It really wasn't that hard. Anyway, it took a bit of troubleshooting to try and figure out. For some of them, I can't. If I drill all the way through to redo the entire hole, then I create new metal chips in there, and I can't undo it and deburr again. But for some of them, I did put the drill in just a little bit, just in the first bit, and blew it out and deburred, and that seemed to help. But then I tried just deburring, and that did work. So anyway, all I needed to do was deburr, and now all the rivets actually fit. Some of them took a little bit of pressure. Some of them took a couple of taps, light taps with a hammer to get through. But they're all through. They're all riveted. Every single rivet is checked. Some of them aren't pretty. I do have a smiley face on one or two, as I'm sure everyone will get. But they are all good rivets now. Didn't actually have to drill any out. That's the benefit of squeezing rivets, is that when you squeeze rivets, they can be really consistent, especially with that adjustable squeezer distance thing. So very happy I got that. Now I'm going to work on the 20. It said 20 to 25 inch-pounds is what they want for this one. So you've got me using my torque wrench here. It did take me a solid hour to find that dang torque wrench. That was not a fun night. And I'm just figuring out how to use it. I did get Tony out here to help me as well once I set this thing up as a good torque wrench. A lot lighter on the torque values than I would expect. 24 inch-pounds is not a lot of torque on those nuts. The other thing that I learned about these nuts, and I learned this later, but I'll go ahead and share it now, is that even if you're not over-torquing it, just constantly using these nuts, taking them on, taking them off, putting them on, taking them off, can wear them out to the point that they fail. So once you torque these all the way down, mark them with torque seal, and don't touch them again if you can avoid it. So I learned that about the torque wrench a good bit. So yeah, the kids came out and they wanted to help a little bit with the with the plane, but then they went off to play today. You'll see the water balloons in the foreground there. Those are the ones that were a huge pain to work with the kids, but they have a lot of fun, and I take care of them as much as I can. They've got their yellow camp shirts on from when they did summer camp. They would go and do awesome stuff with that summer camp. They'd go to a space museum or science center or the zoo or movies or all sorts of stuff. It's just basically a whole bunch of field trips for kids, and they had a blast. So the kids really liked their summer camp there. And they would teach them karate and gymnastics too. Trampolines, all sorts of stuff. The kids love that. Anyway, torquing is done on those bolts for that major part there. That part ends up being a huge pain later, and that'll be part of the torquing and untorquing of things. So at this point I want to change gears and talk a little bit about some of the other things that I do. So on the side of building an airplane and being an airline pilot, I also work for a company called Flight Sim Coach. Flight Sim Coach, the idea when we started Flight Sim Coach was that students who are trying to learn how to fly need an instructor to teach them how to fly well and to use their flight simulators properly, especially instrument instruction. You can learn a ton from a good flight instructor, better than you can watching YouTube videos, better than you can just doing stuff on your own and figuring it out. So the whole idea of Flight Sim Coach was an instructor connects to you remotely, and we teach you how to fly the plane properly with good habits and make it a great value for you by learning from an instructor. It's been awesome. I've taught a ton of students, tons of instrument stuff, great use of their time, extreme high value on that. Now, the other part of Flight Sim Coach that we started was a technician side, and I'm pretty good at that part. So I also have a degree in computer science. I'm pretty good at coding, and I'm very good at setting up people's flight simulators the way they want them. A lot of them have different avionics, different screens, different hardware, and the people who buy these things often don't know how to set it up correctly. So I do a pretty good job at setting people's flight simulators up. If you're interested in learning more, it's flightsimcoach.com. And if you're looking for me, you can look under the instructors, you'll find me. I've been doing it for about 4 years, and it's been great. I really do enjoy being a part of Flight Sim Coach. I don't really do it for the money, because I could make a lot more by just working an extra day or two with the airlines versus doing a whole bunch of students with Flight Sim Coach. But I enjoy helping people, I enjoy using those skills, and I really do enjoy instructing. So I've taught a lot of instrument students. I've fixed a lot of people's computers, and I'm pretty good at it. So it's a fun thing for me to do on the side. And again, it really is just a side hobby for me. I set my availability for whenever I'm at home, kids are in school, wife's working. What else am I going to do other than build a plane and help people out with their flight simulators? And I've done so much flight simulation that it's a lot of fun, and that's a major part of what I do now to teach people how to fly. I still volunteer with Civil Air Patrol, so I've been with Civil Air Patrol now for, I want to say 17 years. Yeah, 17 years. And I do a lot of Civil Air Patrol work. I've been an orientation pilot, I'm a check pilot examiner, mission check pilot examiner, I'm an incident commander. So I really enjoy helping with Civil Air Patrol. If you're not too familiar with them, Civil Air Patrol does a lot of volunteer work. They do emergency services. So what we do is a lot of search and rescue and disaster response. In Florida, when we get hurricanes, one of the things that we can do is fly over the damaged areas and photograph it, and we can do 3D mapping of the area so that FEMA and other emergency service agencies can prioritize their response. Sometimes we save lives. It's pretty rare to be involved in a save, but it does happen. We did get credited for one. I was one of the incident commanders during a save after a hurricane where we found someone, and we were credited with that save. We find crashed airplanes. Whenever you have an ELT going off, emergency locator transponder, we have the equipment in Civil Air Patrol planes to go find those ELTs. So I teach people how to do those things as a mission check pilot and a mission check pilot examiner. I train the other people on how to be good mission check pilots and check pilots as well to give people their checkouts in these aircraft. Those are typically Cessna 172s, Cessna 182s, Cessna 206. And some other aircraft. We have a MAL and a GA-8 as well. So I do that on the side. That's how I do a lot of my instruction, and that's all for free. I'm just a volunteer on that one. Then Flight Sim Coach is paid, but it's, again, not even close to how much money that I would make as an airline pilot. So those are my hobbies that involve flying. That's how I teach, and now I've started this YouTube channel, Marcantonio Aviation. Sort of lumped it all together, and that's my aviation enterprise now, is to try and help out and teach and show aviation to as many people as I can, including my kids, and hopefully somebody enjoys watching me and my kids build this airplane. I know it's been a lot of fun for me so far, and I plan to keep it up, plan to keep involving my kids as much as they want to be involved throughout the entire process. I've never forced my kids to work on anything or be a part of this in any way that if they don't want to. So it's been up to them. That's why sometimes you see them, and right now you don't. Right now I'm doing all the riveting all by myself, and that's fine. I'm enjoying it a lot. All right, today I helped out 2 Flight Sim Coach students. One needed an X-plane setup with air manager, with 650, GFC 500, and G5s. And then the other one needed a Honeycomb Alpha Bravo Charlie setup in FS 2020 with PMD G737. Got them set up, tested them, everything's working great. Even sent them custom instructions on how to work it themselves. Anyway, I'm on to the middle rivets here, which are the 470 4-5s. Figure out the 470 4-5 405 right here. Alright, so now I'm squeezing the part of the horizontal stabilizer, the rear. Is this the forward spar? Yeah, this is the forward spar. So this forward spar was a pain to squeeze. Trying to get the squeezer around some of these was very difficult. The other part of the problem, so the rivet sizes. Some of these rivets are a little bit too long or a little bit too short, and Vans gives instructions on which exact rivets to use, but in some cases there isn't an appropriate size because they're going between maybe a -7 or a -8, when the best size actually would be about a 7.5. So some people in the forums talk about sanding down or shaving down or cutting their rivets to be the correct size. I had not read that advice yet, so I just squeezed them anyway, and man, some of these came out really messy. I drilled out a few after a while and then put in some new ones, but I was not happy with some of these rivets, the way they squeeze. This is also, some of these I really couldn't get with the squeezer just based on the angle with the yoke that I had, so I had to buck these. I'm not so good at that. You can also see me doing a lot of research here and trying to make sure that I use the exact correct size and I'm doing things in order. And I get everything done correctly with all the holes that I need drilled correctly and each correct rivet in each correct spot. This was complicated. Advice that I'd pass along is to very carefully check each rivet hole and make sure that you're using the correct size before you put it in. Luckily, I did not use any incorrect sizes. It's actually kind of easy to see when you have too short of a rivet or too long of a rivet. So that's kind of easy to fix. Just make sure that you do the flush rivets where they belong and the 470s where they belong as well. Other advice is to make sure you don't rivet anything out of order. There's a specific order that these need to be done in, and it's important to make sure you don't put in any rivets into a hole that it doesn't belong. You saw me putting tape in earlier. That's pretty important to do, to block things. And pretty soon you're about to see my wife. She's going to help me out here. Because as it turns out, some of these parts are a little difficult to do when you're all by yourself. Over here, this forward flange is not quite look where my fingers. It's not quite touching the metal. Just sort of push it in. Can you just push it in? The pain is going to be that I've got to hold this. Watch your finger. I got to hold this here, and you got to get underneath that to push in. Can you do that?
You mean underneath this bar?
Underneath the bar, and then push it on the metal thing. Can you do that?
Yeah. Over here.
Yeah, you got it?
Yeah.
So the problem I'm having here where I needed my wife's help is I could not, there's no possible way that I could hold my hand down in that area and get a rivet to stay while I'm hammering. I can't buck that and hammer it at the same time. So I've practiced it with my wife before where she holds a bucking bar, and now I'm actually having her do it. So she's holding the bucking bar for me. That part was a lot easier with another person. And you'll see me there just sort of working a little bit with the drill to try and clean out some of that some of the issues I had with the primer again. So I'm going underneath and trying to get the holes cleaned out of primer so that I can get the rivets in there. Once I clean out those holes a bit, I can get the rivets in there and get those things done. But man, I tell you, that was a pain. Doing this in order, getting those things on there, and getting those pieces riveted in there, not easy. Having another person there to help you is just 100% necessary. So what you'll see now is I'm just going in and putting in the clecos, starting the riveting process, getting these skins on. This was exciting because this is when the plane really starts to actually take shape. You know, I've clecoed it together temporarily before and I got to see the shape, but now we're doing something permanent. We're actually making the horizontal stabilizer, the tail of the plane, to be in its final form. And again, I will highlight a mistake I made. Everything you see here, you see is marked as left and right, every single piece except the skins. I missed that. And my guess as to why some of these rivets didn't fit correctly is because I think I might have swapped the skins from my match drilling. Now, talking with Vans, they said that isn't too important, that the laser drilled holes should be accurate enough on those ribs to where they should fit very well, regardless of whether you actually do match drilling or whether you do reaming or anything else. So it worked out in the end, but it took a lot of work to get some of those rivets into the holes. A lot of work. I tried using the air hammer. That seemed to work. With no bucking bar in the back, I could just use the air hammer to hit the rivet in, and then I would check the rivet on the other side to make sure that it didn't deform or scratch or anything. And they were always fine. There was a couple of them that I had to actually pull out and put in a new rivet, but the process of putting in the previous one created a good matching hole for me. So finally, we're getting the left horizontal stabilizer skin, put it on there. We're gonna have the left horizontal stabilizer skin started. There's gonna be some rivets put in. It's gonna be permanent. Again, very, very important that you do this in the correct order. So please follow the Vans order for doing things. Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself in a difficult time of getting the middle ribs on. So I followed the pattern as directed by Vans, and it made my life a lot easier. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to reach that middle rib if you put the horizontal stabilizer in there. So reading the plans, following as close as you can, helps a ton. Next video is going to be finishing up all the riveting. There's a lot of riveting to do. So we'll get the horizontal stabilizer done in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you around.
Endeavour 5531, runway 28, clear to land.